for TV and it wasn't as high end. But the whole point is I learned the basics, and the thing with those programs versus like Photoshop, there's Photoshop, there's a couple programs like it, but there's only one Photoshop. With Maya, there's like 10 different other programs that are like it, and they all use the same principles. They use the same terminology. They have those same tools. So really, in the end, it depends on what you want to do with it. But they all, so it's easy to start out with something simple and move into Maya, and I think you'll pick it up quicker, and that's where it becomes either fun or not fun, is if you know where the right buttons are. So, so even though it's intimidating, I'd say just keep working towards it, because if you just learn what you need to know and not just overwhelm yourself with what it can do, you'll pick it up over time through your own projects.
All right, another question. What's your favorite movie, animated or not? Take a pick.
That's so hard because I watch so many movies. My new favorite movie is actually the newest Star Trek, because it kind of gave me a new appreciation for that genre. But I'm always changing what I think. Like when I had to fill out my MySpace or whatever, Facebook now, for favorite this or that, I always put like 20 things because I can't focus on just one. So, but yeah, I think like I just saw that movie the other night and it just blew me away. And one of the things I noticed, which is most people probably wouldn't, was they have just the most beautiful lens flares I've ever seen. Like when a light hits the camera,
that's pretty cool.
The lens flares are just amazing. I've never seen such a variety of that in my life, because usually it's a joke among people involved in colleges that see demo reels, is like if you see a lens flare, that's it's just corny, but they made it awesome. So that's whenever I see a new movie, it's usually the story, of course, helps a lot, because
story definitely helps.
The foundation.
Try saying that the Cars.
Yeah. So that was my least favorite Pixar movie. But yeah, usually I like when I pick a favorite movie, it's something fresh that's the story affected me. Another one would be Pan's Labyrinth.
My bro's seen Pan's Labyrinth. He liked it.
Yeah, I mean it just made me think about like how we think about our ideologies and what just how kids, their imaginations kind of keep them grounded to reality. And I mean movies that affect me psychologically are awesome, but then when they add the visual element on top, they got me. So
I've been watching Pulp Fiction recently. I haven't finished it, but I enjoyed the movie a lot. What country you from?
Is that your first?
Is that your first country you from? What no country I ever heard of? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you! I dare you, monkey! Alright, I have to censor that. Alright, how much do you get paid?
How much do I get paid? That depends. The teaching jobs, honestly, at a college, you get about 30 to 40 grand when you start out a year. And so that right there is actually, for a bachelor, is not bad. You can live off that. 30 to 40 grand, yeah. When you move up in, if you're there longer, 5 to 10 years, you can go on a tenure track, which, it means that you can, I guess, do anything and not get fired. That's what people told me. But it's a way of securing your job at the university for a long period of time. And if you get to that point, which, I'm not, who knows where I'm going to go. I might do this whole side business thing more 5 years from now. I might stick with the teaching. But you can increase your salary to like 60 grand a year. That's just teaching. So the side work I'm doing is actually just, it's not really, I'm making money off it, but it's hard to calculate that. But my roommate is a good example. He's a web designer and does everything from home, runs his, has his own LLC business and everything, and he makes like 40 to 50 a year, so.
Wait, you had a roommate? Does he live here?
Yeah, he's not here right now, but he's the one that kind of got me into doing all this stuff on the side. We were friends growing up, and we kind of didn't see each other for a long time. When we crossed paths again, he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this, with web design." And I'm like, "I'm trying to do stuff with animation." So he's helped me a lot. He found, like, all of my contacts now have been really through him. So it just shows. I mean, sticking around with people that are interested in stuff you like, there's always going to be connections and networking opportunities, and that's how you branch out in this industry. It's a pretty small industry.
Mm. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just getting weird looks from your cat. Yeah. I did not know it had a short tail.
Yeah, she's a Japanese bobtail, and she's funny. She kind of likes to hang out with anybody that comes over. Kind of checks them out.
Alright. Will it depend who I work for if I do get a job?
Rephrase. How do you?
Like, in pay-wise, would it depend who I work on?
Oh, what you work on?
No, I mean, who I work for.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Yeah. It does. Definitely. I think it depends on the industry, too, because, video games and movies are the biggest thing in that order, too, because games are generating more revenue than movies now. So, I have a friend also that works for Nintendo indirectly. He doesn't work for them, like, directly. It's a studio called Retro, and they're actually owned by Nintendo, but they started out independently in Austin, Texas, and a lot of these game studios are out in Austin. And, but they make pretty good money, too, but we're talking about the mid, around 50,000, like a lot of these people. They'll start out sometimes at 35 to go all the way up to 60, but if you're working for somebody in a company, you're not going to break that $100,000 barrier unless you're a technical director or a supervising animator or somebody that's like really up there. Not to say that it's not possible to do that. It's just a matter of climbing the corporate ladder. So it's like any other job. But yeah, I mean, if you work for a huge company like like LucasArts or Pixar, they're a big company and they generate a lot of money. But your job, you're only going to make a certain bracket, and that's going to be, like I said, 30 to 60, depending on your duties. So yeah, it does depend. Whoever you work for will determine your salary. But I think it's just a general rule. I mean, if you work for a big company, you're not gonna be the millionaire in the company. If you work for somebody that's making millions of dollars. But you see a lot of small companies do that too. They generate a lot of revenue and they don't have a lot of employees, so they in the end get more money out of it. But it's really changing a lot nowadays, because when I was in school, all they wanted to do was work for a big company, and now it's like everybody's changing the way they're thinking, and this is just my little universe, because everybody I surround myself with, they're all freelancers. So, it just seems like now the technology is literally in your pocket. Everybody's got these phones that can do more than computers did 10 years ago. So the way that we look at it, I think, is changing, and like just as far as what you